Click, click.
Hello.
Hello.
Well, it's nice to see your smiling faces, some connection to the world.
Hi.
I feel like it's been a while since I've been here. It's been a week, I guess, right?
I thought you were gonna say since I saw you. Never mind, we saw each other yesterday. But thank you everyone for joining us today. Okay, where is everyone joining in from? We have lots of people here. Hello, Stephanie, Paula, Cindy, Trinity, Lynette, Amy. Hi, Amy.
Hi.
How are you? How is everyone? How are you, Em?
Oh, I'm better than Amber. She got how many inches of snow yesterday?
Probably about 18 or more. 18 inches. Anybody else get that big storm yesterday? Was it yesterday or the day before?
I don't know how we dodged that bullet. It seems
okay. Did you build a snowman?
No, it wasn't that kind of snow.
Was it powdery?
Powdery.
Oh, it wasn't. You couldn't pack it. Yeah.
And
okay.
It's so cold that it's like not going to be good for packing.
Yeah, let's explain that for people who don't see snow. There's specific snowman snow. And you don't eat yellow snow.
Yeah, right.
Okay, why did you have to bring that up?
That's the biggest tip.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to say
hi, everyone.
Birthday to Fabiola that watches us all the time.
Happy birthday.
It's her birthday this weekend.
To you.
She's right? I'm not singing. But I just wanted to say happy birthday. She's
Oh, hi. So everyone who is joining us for the first time, these are our regular lives. We do them on Tuesday and Friday. And we are here together with Marlene of Montreal Confections, Amber of Sweet M's, and I'm Hani of Hayelas.
And so today we had planned our theme. Is the sound feeding back or it's okay?
I can hear you.
I heard a little echo, but I think it's fine.
So today's theme was like wrapping up, even though it's not our last live. Maybe we should have done it the other way around, but I think we wanted this on a Friday. That's why. So we'll be back on Tuesday, but today's a 2020 wrap up. So a little kind of, I guess, sort of ish New Year's from what I've seen of your project. So New Year's projects. So only Han and Amber are decorating today. So they'll be sharing their little tutorials. Who's going first? Are you guys?
Amber is going first. Just let me say hello to a few people. We have Nicole from New Hampshire. Hampshire? Did I say right? Hampshire?
New Hampshire.
Hampshire, yes. We have Maribel from California, Victoria from Colorado, Argentina. Oh, we got 13 inches.
Oh, yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Puerto Rico, Idaho, Texas, San Diego, Chile. Here it's hot.
Lucky you, it's not here.
Oh, we have Dubai, Brazil, Mississippi, Indiana, New Brunswick, Canada, Minnesota. I bet you it's cold in Minnesota, right?
I bet you it is. But you know, one of the big advantages of extreme cold weather is our bugs are much smaller than your bugs.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello from New York, North Dakota, Texas, California. Hi, Paula.
Welcome, everybody.
Oh, we have lots of people here. Thank you for joining us today. Tulsa, Tennessee. Oh, Tennessee is beautiful. Beautiful.
Well, while we're at it then, Hannah, I'm just going to say a quick thank you. Last week, Judy, Justin, and Lisa contributed to the live stream or on Tuesday. And this week, Facebook's having a sale on the stars. So you get more stars for your money. And so you can find the stars in the comment sections, and on YouTube, it's super chat. So thank you to those of you that contributed to the live stream. We appreciate that. And Amber, you said you were going first. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes.
So do you have some videos or something?
I do. Yeah, we'll start out with the video. So my project is a surprise inside style cookie where there's
Like
little
a pinata.
inside. Yeah, pinata style cookie. Where you either break it open and the sprinkles come out, or you can lift the lid off. I'll just show you both ways. So the first thing I did was I baked my cookies. So I'm cutting this with a plaque cookie cutter and then cutting out the center. And you'll see what these pieces are for later. So then I'm just flooding this is going to be the top of the cookie basically. So I'm just flooding that with flood consistency icing. I colored this with sky blue, Chef Master Sky Blue, and then I'm just using my scribe tool to kind of bring that to the edge of the cookie. And then this is the fun part. Well, the icing is still wet. I got a little crazy here and I decided to put filigree on my cookie, if you can believe that.
You did not.
So then I just did it's kind of hard to see because it's so pale.
You told me that it takes you 2 minutes to do this, right?
Yeah, so this
So
is
this takes 2 minutes, okay, folks? 2 minutes. Let's start practicing now so we can be this good in like 10 years.
This one's a little bigger, so it probably took me like 2.5 minutes, but this is 3 times.
And this is white?
Yes, white on light blue. And this is also flood consistency. So you want to use the same consistency for the base layer and for the design. So maybe it's easier to see. I guess I'll put my hands in here now.
Okay, let me switch up the view here like that. There we go.
Oh, I might have to unplug this and start again with that. Is it looking very weird to you?
Well, it's got lines. Your hand.
I'm gonna unplug that one and start and see if I can fix that.
Okay.
So put us back.
Put it the other way.
Yes. Just talk amongst yourselves for now.
Talk amongst ourselves. Any questions while we wait?
Oh, Jeremy is here.
Hi, Jeremy.
Hey, Jeremy. Hi from Spain. Hi from Spain as well. Hi.
And from Paris. Bonjour.
Paris.
Ça va bien?
We have Israel. Hi.
Don't hesitate if you have questions. That's a perfect occasion to ask your questions.
That looks better, right?
You can never get tired of Amber's filigree. I don't think you can get tired. Love you guys.
This one that's easier to see there. I think it's okay, Amber. It's your hand. Put your hand. It's easier to see on your actual hand. So it's fine.
I think it's good. Yeah, it's good.
So this is the dry cookie with the filigree on it. It's definitely hard to see because the blue is very pale, but in person you can see the difference in the colors.
Yeah, well, that's it. On top of it, it's the like very bright in your room, like where you're working. So
yeah. So this is totally dry. So you want to let that dry overnight after you put the filigree on there. And then I made my sprinkles by hand. So let's just play this one. So here I'm using medium consistency icing, which that holds a soft peak. So it comes out of the tip really easily, but it doesn't spread. So it's good for piping small details like numbers and letters.
Did you make a mistake and did you by accident do 2020 or no?
I didn't do that. No.
You didn't. You were good. You didn't.
I was like, yeah, I had like
a year, so you're not really used to writing 2021. So I would also.
Yeah.
You're very good at not needing a template. Everything looked exactly the same size. You don't have anything under there. You were eyeballing it.
Yes. So that, that comes with practice. But you can it's very easy to make your own template. You just type it in a Word document, whatever kind of numbers or lettering that you want. just copy and paste it a bunch of times and then print it out. So these sprinkles are piped on wax paper. So that way they just come right off. This was a tip number 2, a Wilton tip 2. The best way to practice lettering is just to do it over and over again. Just practice to practice. Like use, I don't know, what do you think? Templates or
with a template wax paper and just practice over and over.
Yes. I think that's probably the best way instead of using, I mean, I don't have a projector, so I don't know, but I know that there are a lot of people who do.
Oh, yeah, the projector is another. Yeah, you can. If you want like an exact font, right? The projector is probably the way to go, I guess. But I don't have a projector.
One of the things is also like when the icing's coming out of the piping tip, there's a limit to how small you can go. I think people underestimate or overestimate how small they can write with a piping tip. Even if you're working with a 1, and with a 1 you're going to be squeezing and potentially hurting your hand.
Yeah.
Like there's a limit to how small you can go. So maybe practice on paper before you start pulling out your cookies to determine how small you can go to be readable.
And you also want to make sure your icing consistency is just right. So it can't be too thick or else it's going to hurt your hand and it's not going to come out of the tip nice and smooth. But then if it's too thin, it's not going to hold the shape of the letters. So I guess the first thing you have to get down is the icing consistency.
I don't know what kind of mat. Do you have a mat that you recommend?
Oh, it was a perforated mat I had showed, that mat with to bake, that everybody's doing now with those squares. So it's called a perforated mat, and it's often used for bread.
Yeah,
I got mine
on Amazon, you can find it. Yeah.
So once the sprinkles are dry, you have to let those dry at least 2 or 3 hours. I just let mine sit overnight. I filled up the entire board. It's like, I don't know, maybe 9 by 13. Just filled it all with the sprinkles. And then I painted it with gold, which I'm going to paint something else. Huh?
I said, I thought you had a video of it. No?
Yeah. So this is a mixture of gold luster dust and vodka, which I'm going to show you again in a little bit, but I just wanted to show you how I paint these. So it's better to keep the sprinkles on the paper while you're piping them instead of removing them first, because they're going to be moving all over the place. So much easier just to leave them on the paper and just paint the whole thing, and then you can take them off.
Absolutely.
So I'll just show you. I have a whole thing of these. So these are already removed from the paper, but it's really easy. You just kind of take your scribe tool and just push them off the paper. So these are the sprinkles. So you can see I filled up this entire thing with these little
2020s. And you didn't use white. What color did you use?
Oh, Pan, look. I found a 2020. I didn't even realize it. I wonder if I did that to any other. That's so funny.
I was just, because I know how I am. If I write checks in the beginning of the year, there is a likelihood I write 2020. I was like, oh. Yeah. Byron is asking, how does edible dust work?
So that I'm going to show you that in a little bit with the edible dust. So we'll come back to that.
Okay, I do have it. I'm gonna. Oh, this is so cute.
Okay, so you remember at the beginning those cookies that I cut out. So I used the big plaque and then the little plaque just to cut this part out. So this is going to be like our little box to hold all the sprinkles. So I'll just glue these together.
Orange cardamom. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, they look yummy, eh, Han?
I'm just saying, is this the orange cardamom?
It is.
Yeah, they look yummy, I have to say.
Do you always have oranges, or do you prepare your orange zest and then freeze it? Or how do you make sure that you always have orange zest on hand?
Well, sometimes I use the Penzies orange. It's like dried.
Oh, it's already dried orange grind. Okay.
But I do prefer fresh oranges because it has such a better flavor.
Oh, Olga, that's such a good idea. I might do that. You could
What
put
is
that
it?
2021 on the top of a cocoa bomb for the next year. That's
Oh, yeah.
a good idea. Yeah.
So then,
Oh, Trinity, sorry to see you go, but you can rewatch the live. If you want to rewatch it, you can rewatch it on Facebook or YouTube. It's available there after we are done. Oh.
and then you just fill it up. You get the idea.
Oh, you have the one filled with 2021.
Okay, so that's your little box, and then so you can either just use it as a box, or thank you. If you were you could also glue the top on and then open it by breaking it. But I haven't tried that yet, but I'm going to try it in a little bit because I don't know if these sprinkles inside are going to break if I break the whole cookie, but we'll see. So first I just want to show you. So I piped 2020 on the top of this one because, if you break it, it's like you're getting rid of 2020, get it out
there. You're like releasing your frustration towards 2020.
Yes.
Just to interrupt you, and no matter where I go, there's no cardamom. I think
no.
I do think it's not an easy spice to find. It's not like grocery stores usually don't carry it. You have to go like out of your way, I find, to get cardamom. Where do you get your cardamom?
I get it online usually. I buy it in bulk. There's a website called My Spice Sage.
It's called www.myspice
Sage, SAGE. Did you get it?
So it's myspicesage.com?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm putting that in the comments, guys.
Okay. So they have that in both. So I'm just making a line here and here because that's where I'm gonna fit my 2020 in between those lines. And again, this is something that you can use a template for. I'm doing it freehand. If you were going to use a template, you can look up my tissue paper method, which is basically where you trace the template on a piece of tissue paper, and then you put the tissue paper on the cookie and trace over it again with edible ink marker, and then the ink bleeds through onto the cookie. But for now, I'm just going to make this really annoying scratching noise with my scribe tool.
We can't hear.
Jeremy has no idea what cardamom is or what it tastes like. Sounds fancy though. Very on brand for Amber. Kelly says that cardamom will grow in a pond. I grow it in my koi pond in Alabama.
Oh. Really? Oh, that's so cool.
I have no idea how it's pods, right? It's like a pod. Cardamom.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I throw it in with rice when you boil your rice.
Yeah, that's so good.
Cardamom?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? Never tried that.
Okay, so I'm using this is the same icing that I use for the sprinkles, medium consistency icing, and I colored it with a little bit of brown and yellow to kind of get this golden brown color.
So what part did Olive help with?
She painted the sprinkles.
Oh, she painted the sprinkles. I was looking for her little hand, but it was your hand in the video.
Oh yeah, she just did like the last few rows.
Nicole is asking if you remember the name of the video where you used the tissue paper.
I've used it a few times. The most recent one I used it in is the snowman video, which is that's the last video on my YouTube channel. So if you go to youtube.com/sweetamscookies, it'll be the latest video. So I'm just doing a thin outline first and then kind of going over it again with heavier pressure. And then using the scribe tool to smooth it out and help shape it.
Oh, Jeremy was asking, and I don't know, did you injure yourself, Mar? How long did your hand hurt after those snowmen? My hand hurt watching it.
Well, you feel a certain amount of like, when you see you only have 3 to do, like, so it's like doable. You're not, if you have a tray full of like, you have 50 to do, then you're like, muscle through, you can do it. That's why it's good with the videos. You can do the more kind of like stuff that's not practical.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is so awesome, Jeremy, about your son. Yep, decorate cookies last week. Awesome. Thank you, Debbie. The name of the mat that Marlene uses, it's called perforated. Is it perforated baking mat?
Yeah, I think that's the whole name.
Double R perforated or just single R? Single R?
Not sure.
Perforated baking mat. Yeah, it's single. Perforated baking mat. I'm putting them in the comments, Olga, so you can, if you just copy that and put it in Amazon or in a search, and you'll see. Actually, what's Chua Irene cookie? Chua cookies.
No, well, you feel it wasn't that bad.
Merry Christmas, Debbie. Emily is asking, do you always use the same cookie recipe? I recently bought some cookies from someone local, and although they were gorgeous, they were not tasty at all. I didn't know if it was just this person's recipe or if it really doesn't taste great or what.
Well, I use a recipe with orange zest and cardamom and vanilla. So, because royal icing is very boring, I think, it's just sweet. It's a little bit tart. So that's why I like to put more flavor in the cookie to kind of help, make it more.
It's not really a tasty thing.
Yeah. Yeah, royal icing is.
Well, that's why you have to extract and things like that.
Yes. Yeah, you can also flavor the icing. But I like to have like a very flavorful cookie. And I like the cookies to be a little bit soft too.
Olga, Elisa says that they sell the mat at King Arthur Flour, so you can check out their website. But you probably might be able to find it cheaper on Amazon. I don't know, on Amazon.
When I bought mine a while ago, I couldn't even find them on Amazon Canada because I'm in Canada. I ended up buying it off of eBay, and then I found them on, finally AliExpress had a seller. So if you look, you'll find, and AliExpress sells also to cook like little loaves of bread, which it's quite good.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Junie is asking, what do you do with leftover icing?
Well, you can use it to make royal icing transfers. You can use it to practice techniques. What else?
Put in the freezer and use it another day.
Mm-hmm.
What else can you do with it? Yeah, transfers are really good.
Mm-hmm.
You make eyes. I mean, just making eyes for future projects is a huge, you know, if you do character cookies and they tend to always have the same kind of eye look.
Or you can make sprinkles. Yes, Jeremy, exactly.
Yeah.
And now the latest thing is these swipe stencils. So it's a stencil, let's say, all with little hearts, let's say, and then you pass your royal icing over it, and then you quickly have a bunch of little hearts. You lift it off your parchment paper, let it dry, and then you'll have little heart sprinkles or little whatever shape you want to have.
Yes, this is 2020 because we're going to smash this one to release all the little 2021s.
Set them free.
Yeah. Okay, so now to the gold that Byron was asking about earlier. So I'm using, this is my favorite gold to use. It's Crystal Colors Antique Gold, and this is available on Amazon, and also you can get it on sugarpaste.com. So that's...
The gold's not all created equal.
Right. This one is the one of the edible gold.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this one says
FDA
certified food color. Some of them, if they say non-toxic on them, it doesn't mean that you should eat it.
Yeah, it just means it won't kill you if you do.
Yeah.
Which is a very tasty kind of like thing, right? You want to have on your...
Okay, you're putting out it won't kill you. It's just not, you know, meant for eating, but it won't kill you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Play-Doh. It says it's non-toxic. It's not meant for eating, but if a child accidentally eats the Play-Doh,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's accidental.
well, they make it smell good. When I was growing up, the Play-Doh smelled terrible. It smelled so bad.
Oh, yeah, that's
You didn't want to play with it. It smells so bad.
Well, that's a valid point. Like, if you make it smelling like strawberries, the poor kid has no chance, right? He thinks it's candy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mary is asking, or Marie, sorry, do you suggest underbaking baking the cookies? I baked them at the suggested time, and by the time they cooled, they were like hockey pops.
No, I don't like to underbake my cookies. I actually add agave syrup in the cookie to keep it soft, so that way it can be fully baked and still have that nice soft texture inside. Let me just show you, I don't know if you can see it here. So I'm using 151 proof vodka. So you can use this, or you can use grain alcohol, like Everclear, basically. So you want to use something very strong when you're painting on royal icing, because if you use something like water or something that's too liquidy or whatever, watery, it's going to dissolve the icing as you're painting.
For the Mary or Mari, when you underbake the cookies, usually the center it's weak because it's not baked enough. So then you're risking that you're gonna have wet center, so your icing is gonna take longer to dry.
And also, butter bleed must be more problematic too.
Yeah, exactly. And the butter bleed is probably more problematic. Usually, when you ice the cookies, they do tend to soften up a little bit, I find myself. I mean, but I wouldn't recommend underbaking as well. Play-Doh has their own scent. It smells good, smells like memories. That is very sweet. Karen is asking, how do you keep your gold from looking streaky when you paint it?
It probably has to do with like either the brand of gold that you're using or the amount of liquid that's in your mixture. So I keep mine kind of on the thick side so that you have good coverage. Also, you want to start with a base that's a darker shade. So I'm using like, you know, kind of a golden brown color. I'm not using white icing. So that way you won't see the streaks as much.
Yeah, because it's not completely opaque, right? So
yeah.
Do you have to use alcohol?
It is, I mean, it's the best thing to use. You can use water. I did some experimenting and water was the next best thing, but it's for like little details like this, it's probably fine. But if you're going to be painting, you know, a large surface, it's going to dissolve the icing.
Oh, so glad that you like our ginger snaps. Do you have any left, Mar? You have still 8 left?
well, I put them in the freezer I had saved 8. So actually I pulled out a bunch of stuff to do some baking later today.
Excellent.
I mean, Christmas is like a week away.
I know, I can't believe it.
For those of you who don't know, we did a live a couple weeks ago with Mar on Instagram where we were baking ginger snap cookies. I have the recipe on my blog, hanieldas.com. So they're really, really delicious.
Speaking of baking.
Yes, I will talk about that in a minute. Yes. We do have a question from Mayet. Sorry, Mayet. How to prevent shape cookies from spreading while baking? Thanks. Mar, you want to answer, maybe?
Well, first of all, most recipes that you see on most sites have too much leavening agent. So there's too much baking powder usually and too much, depending on the recipe, or soda. So I don't even put it in. But if you absolutely want it in there, at least reduce it. That's probably one of the contributing factors. And then chilling your dough. If your dough's like warm and then you put it in a hot oven, it has no chance to hold its shape. So I usually will freeze the cookies before I bake them so they go in the oven frozen. And that's helpful. That's the 2 things that I would kind of do. Do you guys have anything extra you do?
I would say if your butter is too soft.
Oh, yep, the butter.
Yeah, the butter. If I think that's probably a lot of the problem. The problem is that the butter is too soft when you are creaming butter and sugar. If it's too soft, if it's too greasy, it should be at room temperature. If you're working with a stick, you should be able to bend it without breaking. If the butter breaks, it means it's not at room temperature. I would say it's better to work with butter that is cooler than with a butter that is too warm, because you can always let it beat for longer. But if it's too greasy, then yeah, it's gonna give you some issues with spreading. It looks so pretty.
So yeah, so that's the top. So you can just leave it loose and then you have like a little box of sprinkles or whatever else you want to put in there, or you can break it, which I'm gonna do. Ready?
Okay, let's see. Should we take a screenshot of this or something?
Oh no, we have a recording.
Oh, we have a recording. Yes. Okay.
So I'm gonna just attach.
Are you doing it?
Yeah, with the icing. So this is again the same icing
that
I use.
Not really. You can't really use vinegar. That wouldn't work.
And it won't taste good.
Yeah.
It will not taste good at all.
Okay, so I'm nervous.
You're nervous. I'm shocked that you're going to be this.
Well, I'm going to record it over here on this camera too. So let me just get a good shot of that and then make sure it's focused. Fine. All right.
Are you using your rolling pin? What are you getting?
I don't know. I'm just going to like break it in half.
What are you going to do with your hands? Okay, show us the muscles.
Yeah.
You see her cookies are nice and tender.
The middle ones are giving me a little trouble.
Oh, they're harder a little bit?
Yeah.
There we go. Very cute.
Okay.
Very cute. I don't know though if you were to give somebody that pretty box that they'd want to do that to it.
Well, I mean, it depends on how you feel about how this year has gone.
I have to say I agree there. It's been a tough one for many people.
So there's your and I have another one here that I'm gonna take a picture of, so just in case anybody was worried.
Oh, it's safe.
Yeah.
Here, just Hannah, you can rewatch it. It's saved in. There's a playlist, and they just get saved there, and you can rewatch the lives. They're on the YouTube or Facebook. You're watching on Facebook, so I think that Han and Amber's are no longer there, but you can watch them on my page or on Dessert Network. They're there. Mine are a little bit long. Like we've been doing it a bit longer on my page than on Dessert Network.
Oh, Jesse, yes, overmixing. The sprinkles didn't break. Overmixing also can contribute to the spreading, overmixing of the dough. That's a good point.
Yeah, the sprinkles held up. There's a couple broken ones, but actually they did pretty good.
Yeah, it's very cute. It's a cute idea. I think it could be done for like, even if you have if you're doing a birthday for somebody with maybe a short name, you don't want to have a name like,
Yeah.
Maybe some, cute short nicknames to fill in there or their age. Be very cute.
Yeah.
Super
Hey,
cute.
Amy.
I just want to eat the cookies. Never mind break them. They look yummy.
Do you receive the same value as what I pay for the stars? No, we don't.
No.
We don't. We no, we don't. Just so that if not,
Facebook is not free for anyone. We all pay.
Yeah, they take their cut.
Yeah.
Well, this would be yes for the gender reveal party.
Yes, very cute. Very cute. So many ideas for the gender reveal. Yeah.
Do we have a way to receive a tip that we get 100%? I guess it's.
Well, 100% no. I think every platform takes their cut. Like even PayPal takes a little bit. I mean, we all have Patreon, which is.
Yeah. Or you can sign up for tomorrow class with me.
Yeah, any kind of like class or subscription or whatever is very helpful when you sign up for those things or buy a product from the Amazon store. That's always helpful.
Okay, so Marlene's page, I'm going to put. Marlene, do you want to do that?
Is it here?
Marlene's Facebook page.
Here.
It's in. Yes.
But that. Are they going to find it?
It's not a link. We do have your school. You can put your school in Marlene's school.
They'll find it that way. But if you look Munchell Confections or Marlene of Munchell Confections, it should come up.
Oh, June is here. Hey, June. How is the new house treating you? You must be busy decorating.
Settling into your.
And then my page is, I don't think I have it on here. You can find me on my blog. I'm going to put the blog up. And then on the blog, it's easy to find my Facebook because I have all the social icons at the very top. You can just find me there. Okay, so I guess I am going to start with my project then. So I'm going to move over here. So I'll see you later. Buster's watching.
Why don't you your class there before you start?
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm back. All right, guys. So tomorrow we are having. I'm having a little class. Let me just quickly bring this up. Okay, so you guys can learn in my class how to make these adorable hot chocolate treats, and we'll be also making gingerbread cookies from scratch. Fee for the class is $20, and you can sign up over at Global Belly. And I'm going to put the link here, and we can also put it in the comments. Anyone interested? It's also a kid-friendly class. Oh, thank you, Ira. Thank you, or Ira. All right, so that's it. I'm going over here.
All right.
All right, so today I'm going to do, can you see well? So I'm going to do
A Franken-cookie.
Franken-cookie. I guess Marlene's specialty, I should say. So
Well,
all
I don't know who invented that name, but it's a great name.
I'm not sure who did, but so what I did before I baked the cookies, I cut out all my shapes, and then I placed number 2 on a baking sheet, and then I used the zero cutter to trim the side, and then I placed unbaked zero cookie, so it was flush with this side, and then I repeated with all of the numbers, and then I used this cutter I trimmed the bottom, and then I placed the cutout cookie here. And then I didn't use any water on the seam or anything like that. It just baked like this. You can see I let these bake for a little longer. When I was starting with cookie decorating, I was so convinced that I had to have like this white dough, white cookies, but now I really do like a little caramelization. It just adds to the taste. They taste so much good, so much better, I find anyway.
I agree. Yeah.
So, all right, so I'm going to start with the glass part. And I made myself a little template. I couldn't find my cardstock, so I'm using a simple piece of paper here. I think I have to move this a little bit because okay, so bear with me a little bit. Just a little bit, so. Okay, I have a little more room to work with. And I'm using edible marker. This is a black food doodler. I'm just going to outline. I'm going to trace the outline on a cookie. It's easier to work with a cardstock, and now all you have to do is mirror the image. So you take it this way, and then you do the same thing. And I have these markers listed on in my Amazon shop. Okay. And now I'm going to use black and gray icing. Now, if you have an airbrush, you could just use white and then airbrush this section, like airbrush it with black airbrush color. If you don't have an airbrush, you can either paint it with white, like I'm going to do gray and black, but you could paint it with white and then use black food color to paint. So I'm gonna add a little bit of black here, and then also a little bit of gray here. And we're going to brush this on. So I'm going to wet or dampen a little bit of paper towel, a little piece, just so we can wipe off excess from the paintbrush. This is a Wilton brand. Amber uses these as well, right? I love their brushes. It's a kit of 5, I think, and it has different styles of brushes. I think this is the widest one in the set.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm just adding a thin layer. Now you want to blend it So there's a gradual.
Found your airbrush since you moved?
Hmm?
Yes?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Did you find your airbrush? Because some of the stuff.
We found it, but then it got misplaced.
Oh.
I thought I had it. That's why I was like yesterday, oh, I can do this with an airbrush. But then like, oh, okay. So I guess we placed it somewhere where I can reach it now. So it's probably in one of the boxes because I didn't think I was going to use it. But this would be perfect for an airbrush. Although, if you're using an airbrush, you might have trouble with having these sprinkles to stick. So I'm going to be using these gold. They're really shiny, very lustrous sprinkles. I'm just going to add these.
Yes, Edith, you can rewatch the live stream. They're saved, so you can rewatch it later at your convenience.
Okay, put this into my tray. And we're going to you should basically repeat this on this side as well, okay? Mm. So once you have that, you can start working on your letters. And I did letters in steps. So I iced my 2s. And then you see this line in the middle here. So this is to prevent craters. You want to pipe the line and let it crust before you flood the cookie. That way, your icing is not going to cave in. This is especially important when you're working with narrow sections, like you see how narrow this is, or my one. All right, so I'm gonna start here, and I'm using 15-second consistency for this.
I think we have a lot of beginner cookie decorators. What is 20-second consistency? You want to answer?
Basically, okay, so we often refer to consistencies in seconds. Probably mostly we say 15 second or 20 seconds. Some people even use 30 second. Seconds basically mean how long it takes for icing to heal, or when you run a spatula through your icing, how long does it take for the line to disappear? So that's basically what it is. So you count to 15, and if the line disappears, you've got yourself a 15-second consistent sugar icing. Now, with this technique to prevent cratering, you don't want to go with your needle tool, your scribe tool, into the dry support line you created because you're going to break that icing. So you just want to very gently agitate the icing and distribute it and move it into the place where you need it. Okay. Now I'm gonna do one. Oh, I should probably move this a little bit. Let's see, it's not touching.
So Crescent is asking, how do you get the two cookie cutters to stay together?
Well, it's quite simple. I mean, you, like I said in the beginning, so you cut your cookies. You cut the cookies. You cut the 2021. You place 2 on the baking sheet, and then you take the 2 and you just place it next to it. I'm not using any water on the seam or anything like that. It should bake into the cookie that is next to it. If you have issues with cookies not baking together, so you can put a little bit of water. But have you had issues, Mar? I mean, you make a lot of these.
No, I mean, you're basically creating, like with the raw dough, a puzzle. You're using the cutters to kind of get them to really be snug together. And then when they go in the oven, everything melts together. So you create this new shape. It's just a way to kind of freshen up your old cutters and create something new without having to spend money. Often the cutter you need, you're going to use only maybe that one time, the new shape you're creating. So it's a lot of money. And also cutters need storage space. So if you have limited space, it's something.
This is it. And I mean, 2021, how many 2021s are we going to have?
Exactly.
So in my lifetime, I think only one. So it just makes sense to,
But let's say you had a job for, 200 cookies for a company. They wanted 21 cookies. Then maybe, yes, you buy it.
Yeah.
Then you go and.
Yeah, definitely. Right. So now you have to basically let this at least crust over. You see how, for those of you who are new, you see how this freshly iced section is very shiny, and this one is not so shiny. So this icing, you can see, I can actually tap on it. You hear it?
No.
So it's the sound. I guess you can't really hear it, but it's okay. But it just means that this is crusted over and this is not. So we want both of these 0 and 1 to be crusted over before we start icing the bottom. Now for the bottom, you can. I guess I will have to wait for this to crust. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start. So this is already iced. You see, I iced it with light gray because I am going to paint it with silver. Now, Amber used luster dust in dry form. This is a wet form already like pre-mixed for you. It's a product by Wilton. It's called Cake Paint Metallic Silver. So I'm gonna open it.
I don't think Wilton makes a non-toxic, and everything is fully edible of theirs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I just noticed. Okay, so this is interesting. Okay, so this has to be, I guess, mixed in after. All right, never mind. So I'm going to give it a quick.
So if that starts to dry, do you add more alcohol to that?
Well, I'm just looking at it. Like I only used it once, but I think I'm gonna have to add a little more alcohol actually.
Yeah.
Because it look how thick it is.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna have to.
Do you have your booze handy?
I know where it is. It might take me a minute to get it, if you don't mind waiting. But let me see. Like it is pretty thick. So if this happens, like this is ready to go, but like Amber said, alcohol or whatever they are using, maybe rose spirit they are using to mix this. It will evaporate if you keep this open, and you see how thick this is. So you want to add alcohol to it, so it's more fluid. All right, so I'm gonna grab my alcohol. You girls talk about something interesting.
That's something interesting. Okay. Let's see. Do we have any comments?
Someone's asking.
Yes.
Yes, Jeremy. I know. Please. Was it a sugar cookie? I think it's a sugar cookie, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that was fast. You're back.
Yes. Well, I'm very quick, as you know. Yes, this is a sugar cookie. I have a recipe on my blog. Now, this is, even though the bottle says pure lemon extract, inside I have Everclear. I just find it's easier. Well, I know it's Everclear. I just find it's easier to show you than my 1 liter bottle.
You find it's easier to put it in your purse?
Yes. How did you know? Because I always drink straight up, 151 proof alcohol. That's what I do. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna add a few drops. Like this is an experiment. I haven't done this, so we'll see what happens.
Should be fine, honestly.
With this product. So I'm just going to. Oh, you see, like this is starting to look much better.
Amber, Mary Jean's asking, it moved about your gold again. If you could repeat the.
Yeah, I just posted it in the comments, but the one I used is called Antique Gold, and it's made by sugarpaste.com. So if you just go to that website, you'll see a little button that says online store, and that's where you can order those. They have so many colors. They also have matte dust, not just the shiny ones.
Oh. Yes, they are Franken-cookies. She pieced all that together.
You see, the coverage is really nice.
What did you say?
Coverage is really nice.
Oh, the coverage, yes.
So similarly, just like with Amber's cookies, it's ideal when you're using metallic paint to start with a base that is about the same color or maybe slightly darker than your metallic paint.
Mm-hmm.
So I use gray. This stuff smells so good.
That's so funny that I have to try that. I keep forgetting to order it. Smells. What does it smell like?
It smells like tutti frutti or something. Like it just smells like really like good. I don't know what they put in, but it smells very nice.
Lorena's asking about the markers. The markers are not non-toxic, the markers she's using. They're fully edible. It's food color in those markers. When you're making cookies, you should use fully edible stuff, since you can't take things off the marker. You can't remove that before the person that's receiving your cookies eats that.
Yeah, the non-toxic stuff is more for like cakes where you're taking the decoration off before you eat the cake.
Yeah, it's easy to take off a flower, not so easy to take off a guideline on a cookie.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's better to use the edible products on the cookies.
They last for quite a long time, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've had some for years. I don't know about you, but.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, Julie's saying she made Harry Potter glasses, but like it's split, at the nose part. I think maybe draw glasses on a shape, draw the glasses on a rectangle or on a round, make small glasses, because it's unavoidable. You have such a small section.
This I'm going to show the cutter. This cutter, I mean, obviously this is not a Harry Potter shape, the glasses, but this shape, it looks pretty sturdy, I have to say. Like it's pretty wide here.
Yeah.
It's not too thin, so I think it would stand even if I bake these alone. All right, so I'm done with this.
Here, I just want to address this here. So you're saying people are making, their cookies with non-edible products and whatever. That's, I guess, entirely up to them. But I can just, if I can add, when you're buying your products, your gold, your disco dust, all these types of things, make sure you're buying them from a reputable source, because I've seen people buying them like cheap on, let's say, Amazon or things, and they turn out to not even be food. Like they're not, forget non-toxic, they're just glitter you use in crafts. So be careful where you're buying your products so that you don't end up with fully toxic stuff on your cookies. Inexpensive, just like anything, cheap is not necessarily good. So it's good to be frugal, but be careful.
I was inspired by, I looked up Amber, what is the color of the year 2021?
Oh, I didn't.
Is it Pantone or whatever they call themselves? So I looked it up, and apparently next year it's called Tangerine Tango, and it's a reddish orange. I don't know if you can see. I mean, it probably looks red, but it's orange with red. And the meaning behind the color is to like be energized and be positive, and things like that. So I think we all need that after 2020.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to attempt to do the letters.
Confused Taco is asking, where do we get our edible supplies?
Well, if I can suggest, look locally. Support your local businesses. You'll save often on shipping, and at least look. Sometimes you can't get something. Like I'm in Quebec, and things have to be identified in French for them to be available here. So often I do have to order online, but if you can at least even order within your own country, you'll save often on shipping. For me to order in the United States, it's much more expensive to get it across the border. So first that. If you're Canadian, how sweet is that? Is in Ontario. She's got a huge selection of products. You, Amber, where are you ordering from the United States?
I get mine, well, for the gold dust, I go to sugarpaste.com. So that's directly from the supplier. And then otherwise, I'll just get them on Amazon, or I don't go out shopping anymore, but I used to go to Michael's a lot, the craft store. Yeah, I mean, Michael's will always have the edible stuff too.
Yeah.
Because they carry Wilton.
Yes, Wilton. Hobby Lobby. I've been to Hobby Lobby when I travel to the States. They have a nice selection. Have you ever been to a Hobby Lobby?
Yeah, when I lived in Illinois, yeah.
Yeah, they have a nice selection.
Joann's.
Oh, yes, too. I've never been to a Joann's, but I've seen often people posting about it on the on the internet.
Or if you're lucky enough to have a specialty cake store where you are, New York cake in the city is like amazing. Whenever I go to the city, I try to make a special trip just to go to that store.
Because it's so nice to walk and see this stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's like that's part of the fun, is actually looking at everything and being able to look at the colors, like really see them. A photo on a site is not the same thing.
Yeah.
Doing a good job, Anne.
Oh, no, you messed me up.
We can't hear.
Really?
Yeah, what happened?
Nothing.
Sound very muffled.
Okay. All right, so basically now I'm just gonna, okay, so this should be crusted somewhat. All right, so it looks good. So now I'm going to fill these. I'm gonna try to go like, so I can hide the edge a little bit. So I'm going to pile it up with icing. And this is slightly more fluid than the one that I was using for the outline.
Jeremy.
What's Jeremy saying?
He said you're drinking the extract.
Oh, yeah.
She's very good even after drinking it. Her lines are very straight.
Is this also the 15 seconds?
This is more, it is thicker.
Thicker.
The outline was like piping consistency, and this is about 20. You see how it's not actually moving out on its own? It needs a little help.
But that'll give it some nice dimension.
Yeah, you just have to like agitate it as it's wet.
And if you're a beginner and you have trouble getting your lines looking like nice, get yourself some sanding sugar. It'll clear it right up.
Yeah.
Christmas is often a time beginners adventure into the cookie world, and then they feel a little bit disappointed. Throw some sanding sugar on there. They're going to be gorgeous.
Yeah.
At this point, you can also increase the pressure on your piping bag so more icing is coming out. We're going to try to avoid the rupture this time, Jeremy.
Well, you're fisting pretty good, so you're holding it kind of together. Last time you had more icing in there. It helps to hold the pressure in when you're actually putting the whole lump of icing in your hand. Here, June is warning the
Yep.
Well, outline first, then you kind of have, well, Amber works differently. She has her own kind of, you find that your way, do you think, do you do it sometimes the other way?
I only outline first if it's very small areas, like what Han's doing right now. If I have little tiny things to do, I'll outline it because it's kind of impossible to keep the icing in such a small area. But when I'm just flooding a cookie, I don't do an outline. I just do it all in flood consistency.
Well, I do it all that way too, but I'm kind of outlining because you're going back with your needle, whereas I just find my line that I want it to stay at.
So you outline it and then let it dry a little bit?
No,
No.
I do it all at once, but
but you put your outline where you want it.
Yeah, exactly.
I see.
Exactly. I don't reposition it. So I think you can practice and see which one works for you. Who was it that wrote it? Amanda? No, it was before, I think. Was that
the version I did?
Try both ways and see which one you like best.
Yeah.
Very nice, Han.
Beautiful. Those are great. Oh, it would be so much fun to have those on like cookie sticks and then you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you could actually do that. You have space here. If I look at it, you have space here. You could, like this is, I think, enough space for the stick. You know, like it will hold that up. That would be really cool. All right, so guys, which one do you like better? Polka dot, because I looked up patterns for 2021, and one of them was.
Oh, yeah, polka dots?
Something about polka dots, yep.
Oh.
Strangely enough. All right, so here are my 2021 celebration cookies.
Very nice.
Awesome.
And I'm going back.
Hello.
Let me go here then. There. Oh, you want them in the stream there? What's wrong?
Oh, nothing. For some reason, never mind. My editing software opened up on its own. It's very weird. Oh, and by the way, the paint was also Wilton, and the sprinkles were Wilton as well. The gold sprinkles I used.
I didn't know there was a pattern of the year. I knew there was a color of the year.
There is the pattern of the year. It was Blur Florals. Okay, so I had to look it up, like Blur Florals. So that's like a.
I didn't see.
I don't know who comes up with these things, honestly. Like.
Yeah, exactly. How's that your job? Mind you, we make cookies. So
I know. I was gonna say like we should talk.
Oh, my other door.
Decorate cookies all day long.
Polka dots. Oh, good. I wasn't sure about polka dots, but I think they kind of, I wanted to do something a little different.
Well, I like it together as a set.
Yeah. Well, I have two more, so this is going to go on my YouTube. So I think I'll do two others with a different color as well. Maybe green. I don't know. I'll do maybe some bright colors. Because after all, I wanted to do we were talking about it. I wanted to do emojis, poop emoji, and toilet paper, and because it seems like 2020 is a year of toilet paper shortage. But I decided to go with a different route. We can't change the past, but we can change the future, and hopefully this is going to be a better year, and we are more prepared. And we'll just we just have to stay positive and.
Well, it's upwards and onwards because there's not much we can do. This is all out of our control. Everybody's in the same boat. And if you're not positive, I mean, really, there's not much of an alternative. So Tuesday, are you guys have your thinking caps on? I already know there's going to be maybe a guest hand in the preloaded videos. Maybe there'll be some little hands.
Yeah.
You've got your little assistant there. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So we're thinking up ideas to keep the kids busy over holiday break. Baking's always a nice family activity, right? Like you get to eat it, and I think it's more fun even than crafts because then you get to like eat, you know, it's like it finishes it off nicely. So it's cute.
Oh yeah.
Like,
For sure.
crafts are fun, but it's just right. Then you get to get a nice little glass of milk there, and they get to enjoy it.
Jessica, you can check Amazon. We both, I think Amber also has Wilton brushes on her Amazon page, and I do as well in our shops. It's a set of 5 brushes.
Mm-hmm.
They have a purple handle.
Yeah, they have a purple handle. They're really nice to work with.
So yeah, Tuesday we'll be doing kid-friendly kind of projects so that they can join in. Puzzle cookies.
Oh yeah.
I think that's nice for them to play with. I don't know if they could actually make it though.
Yeah, so if you wanted to do it ahead of time and then give it to them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like activities like.
I mean, they can help with anything, really.
Well, it's all about mom or dad's level of micromanagement.
I'm
right?
really, yeah.
Are you a micromanager? You are. So the kids, you know, it's like.
Well, you know that about yourself, so you know it.
Yeah. Well, I give her, like, when I'm done with my project or whatever, I give her, like, the leftovers and the extras so she can just go crazy, you know, but, like, if I'm doing, like, a video, it's, you know, just, okay, put your hands here and then, you know. She's learning.
Oh, she is, yeah. So, folks, those of you who didn't see that, if you're just joining us, I have a gingerbread cookies and hot cocoa treats class tomorrow. You can sign up over at Global Belly. Link is, where can we find the link? So you just go to globalbelly.com and
do a search.
Gingerbread cookies, and you will be able to find it. And hopefully I will see you there tomorrow.
Well, that was fun, ladies, as usual. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
So Tuesday we'll be eating cookies. What?
Nice to see you in your purple sweater. Are your glasses purple?
They're, I think, reflecting the shirt, maybe.
Purple. Yeah,
they're kind of like copperish.
Okay, so they were, yeah, I think so. That's what's happening. They were reflecting your purple shirt. All right. So, we're going overtime today.
It's a long one, yeah.
It's a long one.
Okay. So thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And we will be back one more time before 2021, and that's on Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah. See you Tuesday. Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Yes, it is last Friday. Oh, bye.
But you can still talk.
All right. See you later.